Hi guys, it's April, and this past week, since I finished my last coloring page, I put out a poll on what I should color next, and it was suggested to me that I should either do a Kincaid or a Kirby. Now, I don't have the newest Kirby Roseanne books yet, but it's coming out this month. So I went back through some of my Kirby Roseanne coloring books and found a couple that I don't have any pages done yet, but I was mostly drawn to Mythic World. I haven't colored a page in this yet. And I know some of these pictures actually show up in other coloring books as well, but I decided to focus on this one. So I had two that I was thinking about possibly doing in this coloring book. I've got this piece right here, which, if I remember right, and I'm probably gonna say it completely wrong, it's Nokken, I think is his name. There's some information on the back of the coloring book that explains where each of the inspirations for the coloring page comes from. This is what, page 65? Yeah, so it's a Norwegian folklore. And I don't know, I thought it looked fascinating. And I don't know if I would have followed the folklore if I color this one. But that's a decision that can be made. There's just something about the water and the lilies, and I don't know, it was fascinating. But then we also have this one in here, and this is a Chinese-based folklore. We have this cute little moon rabbit. Do I remember the goddess of the moon's name? Absolutely not, because there we go. And I'm not gonna pronounce that right, but she has a whole bunch of rabbits up on the moon, and this is a picture of one of them. Uh, I don't know. I thought it would be fun to color something like this. So this is another option that I had to vote for. I actually have this picture in two different coloring books, and I didn't realize I had marked it in both this coloring book and the other one that I wanted to color. So I decided to do, of course, this coloring book because, once again, I haven't colored in this one yet. I've been meaning to, but I've just too many coloring books, not enough time. But then I have some of the Thomas Kincaid. I chose one from his traditional work and from the Disney collection. So from the Disney collection, I thought this one from Pooh, I don't know, it just felt like springtime to me, and I think it's probably just how bright and light it is. It's probably more of a summer picture, but something was calling me to this piece, and I thought it was so adorable. So this is one of them I put up for voting. And then the next one was Savannah Romance. This is, of course, from a larger piece where you've got this huge Savannah garden, and that pink tree just looks so pretty. And trying to emulate this, I don't know. Once again, I was just pulled to this. Hi, welcome. It would be interesting to see the fuller picture of what this one is. But that was the last one I had out to vote. I did put voting up on a post here on YouTube. I had a thread over on my Threads account, and then I opened it up to my channel over on Instagram. And so I compiled all of the votes, and unfortunately, Savannah did not get very many votes, so that was out pretty quickly. So then it was between these two coloring books. Nokken, the Scandinavian uh, sprite god, I don't know. Dude did not seem to have gone over very well, even though I thought it would have been interesting, but that's fine. So it ended up between the moon rabbit and the what I call the floating Pooh, but in a good way, not in a bad way. And so it was in between these two, and I mean, I kind of could have guessed which direction voting would have gone because I don't know. There is just a very big Kirby fan base over on YouTube. So it ended up being the Moon Rabbit piece that ended up winning the vote. And I think I want to use some of the traditional colors of the Chinese artwork, especially some of the older scrolls and art pieces that you can find. I might put down what I'm thinking is putting down at least a marker base and then coming back with colored pencils on this one. And so it might have some more muted tones so that it has more of an aged feel to it, but I'm still thinking about what this piece could be. The marker base would probably just be some of my water-based markers that I have in a cart by my workstation, and then whatever color pencils would match the colors that I'm going for. I think I have, let's see if I can keep this open. My guess is I can't. I need to break the binding in on this one. Oh, goodness. Maybe. Nope. Still not enough weight. There we go. So for my reference, I found this piece right here. So I'm actually thinking about doing something like this for this piece. I'm probably not going to use it, like I said, I'm probably not going to do watercolor, but I think I can achieve some of the same look and feel with some water-based markers with colored pencils on top. I do have some water-based markers, but I also don't want to bleed through this page, so I have to be very careful on what I'm going to end up layering on this page. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for now. If you guys have other ideas of what you want to see me do for this page. But yeah, other than that, I don't think I'm going to have a very long stream today because I need to get the pieces together to start building up. What we could do, since we're here, maybe start finding some of the marker colors that would match. So I have all of my student grade water-based markers color swatched out in this binder. I probably would want to start with the red of her cover. And it's almost an orange, but not. I almost like that, but it's too much. I could do something like an apricot, and then I could build up with like a redder color pencil, so you get some of those reds coming through. And so that is a zig apricot. So that would be this right here. You almost need something a little lighter for some of the fluff that happens in the background, but I think I want to focus on her and what colors would be good for her dress. Because I mean, I could pull that red down into some of these flowers and the edging here. Also pull in some of those softer pinks. So I'm wondering, what do I like? I kind of like the Stadler RV2. I think this one almost goes too peachy. Yeah, let's go to the Stadler RV2. That's a zig. Okay, so that is the RV2. Now these I've actually numbered myself because they don't actually have any indicators for what they can be. This is going to be a lot more of a pastel-y piece than I traditionally do. Because then we're going to, at some point, get into the moon. I'm going to have to decide what color tones I want to pull out for that. But I think I want to do a lot of these flowers in that pink color, along with flowers in her hair. But we do need to find a skin tone. Could go with this zig flesh color. And then it could be softened down as needed. Okay. Once again, that's the zig. I really like this style of zig art and graphic twin markers. They're actually some of my favorite student grade markers. Okay. I think that'll, well, I could pull out a gray that might start matching some of what I want to do. And it might be I'd like it to bleed a little blue. Wondering if it's going to be this Kirtaki gray right here. I could go a touch darker and maybe do this Crayola gray, but I'm almost okay leaning a little lighter so I can build up the color. So I'm gonna find the Kirtaki gray. I think this might be it, but it is not labeled, so yes. You can start with that. So we can put all of these colors together. Oops. Yeah, okay. So those will be the base colors I will start with next time. I'm not going to start this piece yet because like I said, there's a few things I still want to figure out. But I think this would be a really good place to start. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to really break this binding in. I might leave this picture up as I stream. It's kind of nice to have that reference. But, hold on. Let's see if I can. Might just lay something heavy on this for about a week. It's getting there. It's almost there. Okay. So yeah, that's all I was going to do for today. I know it was a shorter stream, but it usually is when I don't quite know what I'm going to color yet. I like to give sometimes these pieces a little bit of time to sit in my brain so I can think about how I actually want to color them. But I will be back next weekend. I'm probably going to be switching back to my Saturday streaming time, so Saturday morning. Probably get a good hour and a half to 2 hours of coloring this page. It'll be fun to see where this goes. I'm excited. So I hope I will see all of you guys there. I hope you've been having a wonderful weekend, and I do hope you will have a wonderful rest of your week. I will put up a notification of when I will be going live again. So if you want to see those, feel free to subscribe or follow me on any of my socials. And once again, thank you for being here. I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.